Showdown.
This is it. We're here. It is the men's grand final day. Season 3 grand final. The winner of today will have their name etched on the trophy. And we're going to get straight into it with the wildcard draw. And there is a very decent lineup of wildcards today. Sam Roberts and Nathan Burley, the Ninja Nerds. Young Gun, Hayden Reid, the Savonoff brothers. Oh, there's some great wildcards. Even Rob Patterson, Season 2 Ninja Warrior champion. But first up is Hayden Reid, Sam Roberts. These two guys are very likely to hit the buzzer. So in the wildcard draw, all you have to do is go through this course clean, hit the buzzer inside the time limit of 1 minute 25, and you are through into the main draw. If you hit the buzzer within the time limit, rest up because you are racing later today in the main draw. And Hayden Reid's off to a good start. So is Sam Roberts. These two guys very likely to get themselves a wild card right here, but we'll wait and see. Anything can and usually does happen in Showdown. And Hayden Reid, cool as a cucumber. Look at him go through the grips. This is his bread and butter. And he's off. He is off to get himself a wild card. Hayden Reid is the first man through to the main draw. Rest up, Hayden Reid. You are racing in the main draw. And can Sam Roberts do the same thing? It doesn't matter if you win or lose in the wildcard draw, just so long as you don't fall off and you get within the time limit. And Sam Roberts just taking his time through this course. Hayden Reid didn't look like he could blow out a candle either. They both cruised on through, and Sam Roberts off to get himself a wild card as well. So first two guys straight into the main draw. Let's see how these next guys go. So up next is Nathan Burley and Season 2 Ninja Warrior champion, the artist formerly known as Robot. He is Rob Patterson. And off he goes. Rob Patterson off to a good start. So is Nathan Burley. You would expect both of these guys to hit the buzzer as well. Both seasoned campaigners. Nathan Burley is the current Queensland NCL champion. So two very talented guys on the course right now. Rob Patterson, always a threat in these competitions. Now, the reason Rob Patterson didn't get himself an automatic qualification was because he was out of state all season and only just came home. So he has to actually go through this wildcard draw today to get himself a spot in the main draw. But he's someone who would usually, well, so is Nathan Burley really, but Rob Patterson definitely someone who would usually be qualified early for the grand final. But today, on this occasion, he's going to have to do it via the wildcard system, and it looks like he's having no problems with that at all. He's cruising through. So is Nathan Burley. Nathan Burley having a great run here. And they're both onto the grips. Rob Patterson just cruising through here. Both looking quite calm on the grips. And Rob Patterson is off to get himself a wild card. Nathan Burley with one grip to go. He's having a bit of trouble getting himself lined up here on this ball. So let's see. He just needs to get himself onto the ring. He's gone slightly offline. He's trying to swing himself back online to grab that last ring. And he hasn't. Nathan Burley's gone down. He gets a second shot at the wild card, but for now, he has not got one. And this next race is the Savonoff brothers, Josiah and Daniel. This will be a good one. Josiah is a big up-and-comer, and Daniel's his little brother, and Daniel's got the lead on him at the moment. These two guys train here together on this very course. They should go quite well in this draw tonight. And Josiah taking the lead now off his little brother. He said, I will show you how it's done. I am the alpha of our house. And look at him go. He is off. And how's Daniel going to respond? Well, both of these guys, all they need to do is hit the buzzer to get through. So it's not that important whether you win in this race right here. It's only bragging rights up for grabs at the moment between these two. And the brothers. And Josiah, well, he's in the lead at the moment, and let's see if Daniel can come back. It looks like a pretty big lead though, so Josiah looks like he may take this one. He's onto the grips. He just needs to get off this ball and onto the ring. Ooh, or did he? Is he swinging around like Nathan Burley? He's down. Josiah Savonoff is down, just like Nathan Burley. He's down on the ring transfer, and his little brother's giving him a bit of a lesson there. He's off, and he is through to the main draw. So Josiah's still going up to congratulate his little brother, but Josiah's going to have to do it on his next run. Up next is a couple more young guns in Teede and Bailey Trusswell. Now, Bailey Trusswell, he has shown that he is a great athlete on his day. He trains here as well with the Savonoff brothers, and he can really get through a course when he's on his game. Kobe Teede's no slouch as well. He is one of the big up-and-comers here in Queensland, along with Hayden Reid, and we'll see what he's got. But Bailey Trusswell, look at him go. He's off. He's not mucking around. He doesn't need to go this fast in the wildcard draw. He just needs to get his way through the course. Like Kobe Teede, just taking his time, just cruising through, making sure he makes no mistakes, making sure he's still fresh for the back end of the course. Bailey Trusswell coming back for the back end of the course now. Seems to be slowed down now, taking his time a bit more. Maybe he's realised he doesn't want that weight settling into his arms. He wants to stay fresh for the latter parts of this course. Kobe Teede's just caught straight back up, but for now, Bailey Trusswell still leading this race, but not that matters in the wildcard. They just need to get through clean, and Bailey Trusswell is onto the grips, and he's onto the last transit. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, he's down. Bailey Trusswell, he is going to get a second shot at a wildcard. You get 2 shots at it to hit the buzzer, and now let's see if Kobe Teede gets his wildcard, and he is off. Kobe Teede off to the main draw. He's got his wildcard. He's within the time limit. Well done to Kobe Teede. Up next, Morghan Lidstone and Adam Anderson. These are our last 2 wildcard competitors now. Let's see how they go. And they're off. Morghan Lidstone, he's under the slack line, and they're making their way to the rig. Here we go. They're jumping into it. We don't see too much of these guys. Well, we see a little bit of them in Showdown. Oh, Morghan Lidstone, he's gone down. He's gone down early. Well, there's Morghan Lidstone's going to have to do it in his second run as well. Let's see how Adam Anderson can go. So far, so good for Adam Anderson. He's struggling to get onto that door, but he's not backing down from it either. He's got to watch out for the time limit though. But he's on now. He's on the door. Let's see how he goes through the rest of the course. Up onto the revolving rings. These guys spin around. Not the easiest obstacle, but he'll cruise through these. And let's see how he goes from here. He has taken his time, which is good. He's got a little bit of time up his sleeve. And he's on it, and he's off. Well, both of these guys are going to have another crack at the wild card in the next round. So the way the wild cards work, you do get 2 cracks at it. So you can afford to have one bad run. For Nathan Burley, Bailey Trusswell, Josiah Savonoff, they were all right at the end, right on the last grip. So you would expect those guys to get through in their next run if they can get that right, but they put the pressure on themselves. Here we go, Wildcards Round 2, and there is only 5 left. So up first, got Nathan Burley versus Josiah Savonoff. These are 2 guys that I would have thought would have got their wild card in the first run, but they're going to have to do it now. They've put a little bit of pressure on themselves to get this one right. Surely these guys won't get it wrong twice in a row. They're very good athletes, both of these guys. And they're off. They're onto the doors. They are taking their time. They know they've got time up their sleeve. It's not that crazy of a time limit. Our course tester, the women's champion, Abbey Cutts. She was the one who set the time limit here. She got through in 1 minute 20. So we've added 5 seconds to that. And the guys just have to get through within 5 seconds slower of the women's champ to get their wild card. And so far, so good for these 2 guys. Josiah Savonoff, off he goes onto the next obstacle. He's swinging up. Now, this bar that they're going to right now, that's just not any bar just attached to the top of the rig. That guy is on bearings, so that bar spins as soon as you grab it. And if you don't grab that properly, it's going to spin straight out of your hands and leave you on the deck. The guys have all attacked that very well so far, but it's not been too noticeable in the wild cards. But surely it'll come into play later on in the rounds. And Nathan Burley is on this last ball again, and it's troubled him again, and he's down. And that is the first big shock of the day. Nathan Burley is out of the grand final. He didn't get his wild card. So now Bailey Trusswell is running this one on his own to get his wild card because there was an uneven number. Bailey has volunteered to do the run without a side-by-side with the competitor. He's the man who is running the course on his own to get his wild card. And this guy is a very good athlete, very good. So that's a big shock. Nathan Burley out of the competition before it even starts. He didn't get his wild card. The NCL champion of Queensland is not going to be in the main draw of Showdown. He failed it on the last obstacle, both runs. So I don't know whether it was a fatigue thing or if he just made the same mistake twice. But Nathan Burley He's out of Showdown grand final, but now Bailey Trusswell, he's taken his time this time. He got out of the blocks really fast in his first run and he burnt out a bit at the end. This time he's taken his time, he's soaking up the course, using every little bit of that time limit, and he's off, he's onto the grips. Get through these grips and you are pretty much home. Here he goes. This is crunch time. He's not looking that great on the grips. He's struggling around on him a bit. He's fighting. He's looking a bit tired. So, he's in the same strife as Nathan Burley. He's Hail Mary'd that ring and he's got it and he's off. He's got his wild card and he's into the main draw. Let's see how he goes there, because that wasn't the most impressive run. So we'll see how he goes in the main draw, because he's a very good athlete. So anything can happen in the main draw, I guess. Here we go. Morghan Lidstone, Adam Anderson, the last two runners. They've got their second chance. Morghan just taking his time going into the rig. And here he goes. Let's see what they've got now. And they both made the lâcher. That's where Morghan failed last round. He failed the lâcher, so he wouldn't have been too happy with himself. And now he's stuck on the door. Morghan Lidstone sliding down the door and he's out. Morghan Lidstone, the second man out of the Showdown grand final. He didn't get his wild card. He's gone down twice. And Adam Anderson, third man down. So there's three guys that failed to get into the main draw. There was Morghan Lidstone, Adam Anderson, and the big shock was Nathan Burley. Nathan Burley won't be too happy with himself at all for that, but it's the way it goes. Sometimes you just don't get it right. But now we're going to head straight into the main draw. And the way it's set is the number 1 ranked man will meet the number 14th ranked man, 2 versus 13, and so on. And the number 1 ranked man is Bryson Klein, and he's coming up against the wild card with the slowest time in Bailey Trusswell. So Bailey Trusswell ranked 14th in this competition. He's the last competitor through to the main draw with the slowest wild card time. And he is ahead of the champion, the greatest Showdown racer of all time, Bryson Klein. And Bailey Trusswell is giving him a lesson so far. He's well ahead. Bailey Trusswell has the last ranked competitor is flying. He is beating the number 1 ranked competitor, Bryson Klein, 2-time Ninja Warrior runner-up for Australian Ninja Warrior. And this is close. Bryson Klein's coming back. He's definitely coming back, but Bailey Trusswell still got him at the moment. Can Bailey Trusswell pull off a huge upset here? Looks like he can. I told you Bailey Trusswell was a very good athlete when he gets it right. And that was very fast. Not many people just come up against Bryson Klein and beat him like that, but Bailey Trusswell, he's done it. Now, number 2 ranked Fred Dorrington versus Teede. Fred Dorrington, he won Australian Ninja Warrior Season 1. He's a very cool, calm head on him. He does the obstacles. He's has this ritual where he doesn't touch any obstacles before any competition. He'll not touch anything, but we've only caught the back end of their race. But Fred Dorrington, Teede was actually a pretty close one. Now, Brodan Goepel versus Sam Roberts, a bit of a grudge match here. These two guys are training partners, so this could be a close one. Brodan Goepel's been going really well lately, and that's why he has the number 3 next to his name. And Sam Roberts, he's just as good as Brodan, don't get me wrong. Anyone can win Showdown. All 14 athletes in this competition could win it, because that's just how close it is. And Sam Roberts, Brodan Goepel, they are neck and neck. Look at them go. And so far we've had a big upset from a wild card, and that was Bailey Trusswell beating Bryson Klein. And right here, another wild card is in the lead, Sam Roberts. It's funny calling Sam Roberts a wild card because he's so good, but he had to come through the wild card system this time because somehow he didn't qualify himself throughout the season. And here he goes, he's in the lead. And Brodan Goepel fell off back there. So the rule in the main draw of Showdown is when you fall off something, you have to get back on that exact same obstacle. Or if you can't reach it, you have to go back to the next obstacle that you can reach and get back on it. It'll only be the obstacle beforehand, but Sam Roberts just caused another upset over Brodan Goepel. Josiah Savonoff and Scheu, the two tallest men in this competition, now going up against each other. Scheu, both of these guys known to go big moves too, so let's see if they're sending some big moves already. Scheu, not one to hold back in this competition. Although that does bring about the odd mistake sometimes, but so far he is not making any mistakes. He is on his way. Look at him go. Josiah Savonoff, who's quite fast himself, and Scheu has put a huge lead on him. Rainer's flying. Oh, and he's down. He's down. He's going to have to go back. That's going to hurt him. He hasn't stopped his carriage from swinging. He can actually get straight onto that if he wants, onto the disc, and he has. He's gone back to the disc. Straight onto the disc. He could actually jump probably, if you're Scheu, you could probably jump straight up to the spinning bar because of his height advantage. But now they're onto the grips, and Josiah has caused yet another wild card upset. So the Wildcards are in the lead at the moment. And he's beat the number 4 ranked Scheu. Rainer went down in the rig. Number 5, Todd Smith versus number 10, Rob Patterson. Well, that's a tough one. Coming up against Rob Patterson, ranked 5 rankings above him. Not many people can say that, but being ranked above him is one thing. Finishing ahead of him is another. He's not an easy man to finish ahead of Rob Patterson, and he's off. Look at him go. Todd Smith, very good in the air. Don't get me wrong. He has been a little preoccupied lately just with a brand new baby. Michaela had agreed to have a baby with Todd. She is the only girl in the world who would, but Todd, just with a brand new baby, has been preoccupied, so we'll see if that affects his performance, because he's usually quite good. He's having quite a sloppy race here though. And Rob Patterson making no mistakes. He is off. Rob Patterson is onto the grips, and here comes Todd Smith. Usually the fastest in the air is Todd Smith, but like I say, his training's been quite interrupted lately, and rightly so. Rob Patterson, he's just gone straight off the side of the boneyard, so he has to get back up and do that again. Gives Todd some time to catch up, but he hasn't, and Rob Patterson takes the win. Here comes Todd, he's onto the last grips, so means I'm racing next because Nathan Burley didn't hit the buzzer. I've had to come out of retirement and race, so I'm heading down there. And there it was, Daniel Savonoff, just the second person to ever beat me in a grand final event. Granted, I'm not in grand final form, but that's no excuse. Daniel Savonoff put a very good run together. Now we've got Hayden Reed versus Sonny Axnick. Hayden Reed, the number 1 ranked in the Wildcards, versus Sonny, who was the number 7 ranked in the auto qualifiers. He qualified through the season by doing quite well. You come in the top 2 in any event and you qualify for this grand final, so Sonny's got here, not needing the wildcard event, just straight on his own merit, but he's racing against a very fast guy in Hayden Reed, who did have to come through the wildcard, who failed to qualify through the season, but judging by his performance here, you'd wonder how this guy hasn't qualified through the season, but somehow he managed to not, and he is off. That is a very fast time by Hayden Reed. Look at him, he's not even trying, but very, very fast time there, Hayden Reed. And how far is Sonny behind? Not very far. He's still putting together a very good run. He would have went well against me probably, but against Hayden Reed, it's a different story. He's very quick. And Sonny, he has made light work of this course as well. Look at him go. Very good run. Sonny Axnick off, and we will have a look at the final standings after round one. And the big mover who's jumped the entire field in one round is Bailey Trusswell, with Hayden Reed, Bryson, Klein and Josiah Savonoff taking up those important top four spots. Now the top four people will go through to the semi-finals after this round. This is round two, and these are the athletes ranked 14 and 13. That is Sonny Axnick and Todd Smith. What can Todd Smith do in the second round? He's normally very, very good in the air. So let's see what he's got. He's cruising through at the moment. Both of these guys going through quite well so far. There's Nathan Burley in the middle. He's turned referee now after falling short in the wildcard round. And Todd Smith is sending it this round. He's still cruising along, but he's going quite well. He's still that flashy man in the air. And we're hoping to see glimpses of it right here. But Sonny going right with him. So this is actually still a tight race, but Todd showing his dominance in the air once again. The dominance that's taken him to Showdown titles. He is off. He's off through the grips. You couldn't see him coming down now. He's quite good in the air. He is on his game for round two, and he's off. And that's a much improved run for Todd Smith. Also for Sonny, who's right on his tail. And well done to Todd Smith. Let's see how he fares compared to the other times at the end of round two. Now I'm off to race. Well, I took a cheeky win there, but that'll probably be me for the day. I'm taking far too many extra swings to post a competitive time, but can't say that for these guys. These two men right here can definitely post a competitive time when they're on their game. Scheu, Brodan, Goepel. These guys can send it through a course fast. And look at Scheu go. He is off straight away. He is out of here. Very fast run so far for the Rain Man. And Brodan's right on his hammer still going well. And they're both flying through this course currently. Look at Rainer go. And the Rain Man, he's not wasting time. Oh, that's some huge moves. He saved himself a lot of time. And all of a sudden, he's off into the back end of the rig. Brodan Goepel is thinking to himself, where the hell did he just go? And Rainer may have just launched himself in the semi-finals contention right there. That was a very fast run. He sent it. And Brodan Goepel right on his hammer. That's a fast run by Brodan. And next up, we'll see Fred Dorrington taking on Sam Roberts. Fred Dorrington, the Season 1 Australian Ninja Warrior champion. Here he goes against Ninja Nerd Sam Roberts, and Sam Roberts not mucking around either. He's going right with him. Oh, Fred just sends it straight away, the no swing. Sam Roberts takes the extra swing. And let's see if he can come back from this. But Fred flying through the course currently. Following in Rayner's shoes, can he match Rayner's time? Rayner pulled some big moves on the way back through the rig. What has Fred Dorrington got? He had a little stumble there, but it's not cost him any time. He's back into the rig now. Can he save any swings here? Well, not really. He's taken a few, but that's the Fred Dorrington way. He's a safe racer, this guy. And Sam Roberts come right back at him. So this is a close race again right now. And Fred Dorrington still edging just ahead. Sam Roberts right on his hammer. So it's gone down to the wire, but Fred Dorrington's taken this one out. That was a quick race as well. Both guys went through that one quite fast. We'll see how their times stand. Next up is Rob Patterson versus Daniel Savonoff. Now, Daniel Savonoff is more famous for that interview on the Today Show where Alison Langdon told him that her cooch was dying, and his nickname is the Cooch King. And the Cooch King is he can get through this course fast. And Rob Patterson is going through even faster. Rob putting down a very quick run here. Look at him go. The Cooch King goes well, but Rob Patterson is absolutely flying. Rob Patterson, look at him go. He's flying through this and not making any mistakes. He's safe, but he's still fast, and he's straight up to that bar. Some good moves, good flow. And that's what it takes to get one of those top 4 spots. And Rob Patterson, with this run, looks like he's going to be very close to one of those top 4 spots. He already was sitting very close to the top 4. And that is a very fast run. So, yeah, we'll see how Rob Patterson's time fares against someone like Rayner, the Rain Man. And the Cooch King, here he goes. He's finishing off his first ever Showdown comp. The Cooch King racing his first ever Showdown, and it's the grand final. He got himself there through the wildcard system. Next up is his brother, Josiah, and he's taken on Bryson Klein. Bryson Klein is the current reigning Showdown champion. He won this very competition last year, beating myself in the grand final race. And Josiah, he's a new up-and-comer, and he is very good. He's going right with Bryson here at the moment. So this is an interesting race. It's quite difficult to go with Bryson, but Bailey Trusswell showed it was possible in round 1. Bryson Klein not mucking around in round 2. He's going very fast, and Josiah right on his hammer still. So let's see what Bryson's got here, and he has flown that move on. Josiah's down, and with that height advantage, he gets straight back up really quickly onto the obstacle he fell off. So when you fall off in Showdown, your penalty is that you have fallen off and you've wasted those valuable seconds falling down and having to get back up again. And the better you can get back up again is an advantage. And Josiah just demonstrated how well he could get back up when he fell down. So that was quite good. But next up is Bailey Trusswell, Hayden Reed. These two guys are the top 2 times from round 1. This will be an interesting race because both of these guys can go. Can Hayden Reed put enough pressure on Bailey Trusswell to force a mistake? Bailey Trusswell is flying at the moment. Both of these guys are flying. This is a great race so far. Let's see who will... Oh, there it is. Bailey Trusswell's made the first error. And Hayden Reed taking advantage of that. He's off. He's not wasting any time. He's off to get his top 4 spot. Well, cement it. He's already in the top 4, but looks like he's going even faster. And Bailey Trusswell's down again. He's really trying to catch up. He sent some big moves there trying to catch up, but he just messed it up at the end. But Bailey Trusswell should still be sitting pretty, having the fastest time from round 1. We'll have to wait and see if more people beat his time in round 2, because the fastest 4 times out of either round 1 or round 2 go through to the semi-finals. So we'll see how Bailey's round 1 time fares against the guys that came through with fast times in round 2. The Rob Pattersons, the Rayner Scheus. Let's see. And the semi-finalists are Hayden Reed, Rayner Scheu, Rob Patterson and Bailey Trusswell. And the unlucky man was Bryson Klein, missing out by less than 0.2 of a second. First up, Number 2 ranked Scheu versus number 3 Rob Patterson. This should be an absolute beauty. And they're off, and let's see who comes away with this one. Rob Patterson with the early lead. And these two guys aren't mucking around as timekeepers are done for the night. This is win or lose now in the semi-finals. So the winner will go through to race for the top step of the podium, and the loser will then race for the bottom step of the podium. So we'll see. The winner of this is guaranteed to either come first or second tonight in this competition. Scheu only just held on to that spinning bar. But these guys, they're making that spinning bar look like it's not spinning at all tonight. But I can assure you, I've been on it and it is spinning. These guys are just that good at holding on to it. They grip. These guys have a vice grip. And Scheu is going through to race for the top step of the podium. And Rob Patterson will be racing for third against one of these guys. Hayden Reed, Bailey Trusswell. One of these guys will be racing for the top step of the podium. Both very good. Bailey Trusswell very fast on his night. Hayden Reed just beat him in the second round, and Bailey Trusswell, he's gone down, giving Hayden Reed a huge advantage. And I don't think he can do that and come back against Hayden Reed because he doesn't really make mistakes, does Hayden Reed. Although he seemingly just did then, but he's back up and Hayden Reed is off. I jinxed him big time, didn't I? But he's still in the lead, and Hayden Reed so far. Oh, there's the cameraman gone down. The cameraman went down, but back up again. It's not a cameraman, it's a camera woman. It's Crystal Malcolm. She came third in the women's grand final just a couple of weeks ago, and she's on the camera tonight. And Hayden Reed, he's off. He is off to race for the top step of the podium. So Hayden Reed will be racing against Scheu for the top step. And for that bottom step of the podium, if I were Bailey Trusswell right now, I'd drop and save my energy. But he's determined to keep going and finish the course. He's wasting the energy, but he's going to have to race against Rob Patterson for third place tonight. He's racing for the bottom step of the podium. And that's coming up. But beforehand, we're going to give him a little rest. And the women's champion, Abbey is having an exhibition race against Todd Smith. And let's see what Todd Smith's got. He had switched off for the night. Oh, yes, he certainly has. Look at him. He's gone down. He ran straight off the end of the platform. I don't know if we'll see him do that again this year. Will we? Let's check it out halfway through the year when Ninja Warrior airs. And Todd Smith, off he goes through the floating door because he will be on Ninja Warrior this year. Abbey still a couple of years before she can go on Ninja Warrior. The age limit is 16. Abbey still only 14. 14 years old is this girl. She's beating all the pro women in Queensland. And she's beaten Todd Smith at the moment. So Todd Smith better get a wriggle on. He's given her a fair start, but we all know how good he is in the air. He was having a bit of a laugh when he fell off the platform, wasting time, but he's coming right back. But Abbey you can't really give her too big of a head start because she doesn't make too many mistakes, and she's got him. She's got Todd. I don't think he'll come back from this. Abbey is off. She's going to beat Todd Smith in this exhibition race. He had switched off for the night, but he needed to switch back on if he's going to beat Abbey She's just dusted Todd Smith off, and he won't be happy about that. He'll certainly be copping the sledges at training, probably from Abbey. And here he goes. He's finishing it off. And that's the exhibition race. It was to give our semi-finalists a bit of a rest, and now they're back on. Rob Patterson, Bailey Trusswell. This is for the bottom step of the podium, the second last race of the night. And this could be a good one. Let's see what Bailey Trusswell's got left in the tank. He was looking very tired. He's done a lot of racing tonight. And, he is struggling big time. Rob Patterson, he's off. Bailey Trusswell, he's still only using the sides of the door, I guess. And Rob Patterson is off. And he's going to be very hard to catch for Bailey Trusswell from here. This is his first ever Showdown competition. He went through the wildcard draw. He got the last wildcard position. He was ranked 14. After round 1, he was ranked 1. After round 2, he was ranked 4. And it looks like he's going to finish up 4 unless Rob Patterson makes a blunder on these grips. And Bailey Trusswell's down again. I think he's given up now. think he knows Rob Patterson is not going to make a mistake, and off Rob goes, and he is going to be on the podium tonight. Rob Patterson, he is third in Showdown Season 3 Grand Final. Rob Patterson, but this guy's put up a very, very good effort in his first ever competition. He's edged the reigning champion Bryson Klein out of the semi-finals. That was a huge upset in that first run. He somehow managed to edge Bryson Klein out of the semis, and that is Bailey Trusswell's effort today. It was a good effort, and this is it. This is it. The winner of this race right here is the Showdown champion, and he gets his name on that trophy, and this should be an absolute beauty. Let's see if Scheu can send it, or if Hayden Reid, as usual, can pressure somebody into making a mistake on the course. And Scheu's behind at the moment. He's going to be a hard man to catch. And Rayner is sending his usual tricks, and is Rayner in front? No, Rayner's gone down. He's finally the spinning bars caught someone out, and it's Scheu, but it's caught him out in the grand final race. That was a big move. It had Scheu caught that, probably would have been him heading for that buzzer right now, but Hayden Reid doesn't make a mistake. He's pressured Rayner into a mistake. Down he went. Hayden Reid is the Showdown champion. And that'll wrap it up for Showdown for this season. We will start next season very shortly. Here's presentation. Some big surprises, some results not so surprising. First of all, thanks to everyone who helped out today. All my timekeepers, Nate, who should have been racing, but failed to hit the buzzer. He took my job, then I took his. Thanks to Nate, that ran really smoothly. Thanks to Nigel and Frank for having us here once again. Thanks to all the supporters for coming in and supporting their races. And we'll get down to presentation now. Who I missed, by the way? Missed people, surely. Abbey coming in last night and course testing for me. Big thanks to Adam as well. And Chadburn, of course. I'm really happy with this course. Probably like on start, it was the best course I've ever set, and you guys were making it look like it was nothing today. So that's just a sign of the athleticism in this room right here. For the presentation, in fourth place was Burley in his first comp. And he went ranked from last to first in one round, back down to fourth, and that's where he stayed. Bailey's in fourth. Third place, up here on the podium here is Rob Patterson. You might have seen him once or twice on TV, I don't know. Might have been once. In second place, what a race that last one was. He fell off, but it wasn't because he fell off with mistakes. He was just under so much pressure from that bloke that won. I'll get to him later. But it's Rayner. So he hasn't even been training, he just rocks up and that's what he does. He comes in, he sends it big, and sometimes he gets it right. Sometimes. And also, I mentioned to Bryson, who was edged out of the semis by about that far. .05,
It'll haunt me.
But the winner, well, we all thought that one day this bloke at Abbey would be sitting on this trophy, but we didn't think it would be the third names on the trophy back then. But it's Hayden. He's coming in.
Well considering grand final last time, 2020, fell in my first ever course run. Didn't quite make it that far, but what do you do? Year later, coming in, winning all my races, sitting here on top of the podium. Thank you everyone for being here and making such a great event happen.
So that's it for this season of Showdown. Next season is just around the corner. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Hit the notification bell even. And stay tuned. We will be back very soon.